Okay, here is a good close-up look at the foam. It's that sunscreen silver. I've seen a couple comments lately about how this thing's not going to be durable, how it's, you know, fragile in the nose. I mean, I could put all my weight on the nose and try to give it a twist. I mean, it doesn't hurt it. Just crash it. I don't think a whole lot. It's gonna hurt this plane. Even the cap that goes on the inside, I could hardly give it a twist. I've never seen an EPP this stout. It's absolutely crazy. The spine underneath the area of the nose where the filleted area where the wings meet the nose, that's almost 2 inches thick right there, which means it's almost as thick as the nose of this block. This airplane comes with this block, so you can manipulate and do whatever you want with it. The foam block, depending on the weight of your battery, once you get the CG done, you can use a piece of the foam block to stick in front of the battery. You can take a piece of the back of the block to stick behind the battery and put some Velcro down. So as soon as you put the battery in, you can stick the block in behind the plane. But the sparring on this plane, at least on the fuselage, I think it's pretty much just to help keep the fuselage straight in case you get it nice and hot in weather. But all in all, the rigidity of the foam is crazy. You have a channel on each side for camera wires out to the nose. I mean, you could even mount this motor on the nose if you wanted to mount it on the nose and launch it like this. Just as long as you hit the CG. You can see the spar slots. I mean, the bottom of the plane is that thick, this thick here, where the spars go in. That's absolutely crazy. So you have plenty of rigidity. You know, we've crashed this plane just for fun and testing from about 600 feet up and just let it go. Crashed into the ground really hard, left a little wrinkle in the nose. That's about it. So I think even if you carry your camera gear, you're going to have no problems with it. CG on this airplane is 1.5 inches in front of the spar slot here. So basically the center of your camera bay right here is your center of gravity, which is 1.5 inches from here to about here, which is the perfect balance point for the plane. Comes with all the spar caps for the wings. So everywhere you're putting a spar, you have caps so you can glue everything in. So all the pieces and the parts to cap the spars. The canards, I did fly the canards on the other plane before we had this plane. Flew okay, but I had them too far forward. Ended up flying it on and off a few different times and realized that I need to change the location of the canards. So when we start doing testing on the canards, we're going to bring the canards not so far forward, but we're going to bring them back, because the main idea of the canards is when you're at a high stall effect, bringing airflow down and over to the dead part of the foil. So when we end up messing with them, we'll end up messing with them that way. You will get these with the kit if you're in the pre-sale, and you can mess with them yourself. I'm not going to mess with them right now because I got too many kits to get out. We've gone through and designed the elamins in the silver EPP. Again, you slice off that filler joints at each end, put them against a straight edge, throw the fiberglass spars in them. Same thing, throw it against a straight edge, throw the fiberglass spars in them, and then I've been laminating them in 3 pieces of 5mm. So while it is against a straight edge, which we've been pinning it against a straight edge, I will laminate the top, laminate the middle, and laminate the end, working the lamination from the center of each piece out to keep the distortion down. Put 5mm on the top of both of these, and it's crazy strong. You can see in that last video I produced. Works really well. Another thing is so you do crash these once they're coated, nothing's gonna happen. So if you crash these against the edge, nothing is gonna happen. Went through and did these in this material just because some of the mapping airplanes landing in crazy areas, you don't want to skip a beat in case you're breaking it. Okay, now to the wings. The wings themselves, you can see they're nice and healthy, nice and thick. It's got the original Zephyr airfoil on it. You can see the spar slots, nice and deep, nice and thick. These things, you know, you're not going to have you're not going to have any problems breaking this stuff. And if you break it, you're talking about really pile driving this aircraft. You know, I don't think I can bend it anymore. It's too freaking stiff. And then straighten it back out. But before I glue anything in, I go through and straighten everything out, make sure it all looks straight. When we press it, I bent it that much, and it's almost perfectly, absolutely perfectly straight. So that's the airplane. If you're thinking that it's breakable and the quality is not worth what it is, you might want to think again. This isn't Chinese EPO. This is a different type of foam. This is what makes this airplane what it is. So thanks for watching. Just wanted to give you a quick go through of the foam pieces that we actually had molded for this aircraft. They met my expectations and exceeded them.